Good Sunday, everybody. Out here at Olentangy Trail today for a little walk with us. And today's a special guest star. Bailey decided to come today instead of Gabby. We'll see how this goes. He's not quite as good on these kind of walks as she is. He tends to pull and is all over the place. So that's why I chose this particular location. It's a short walk. It's about a quarter-mile loop, and it's pretty wide open. Shouldn't be too many people here, and we'll see how he does. Come here. Lift your foot. Yeah, see, he doesn't know the commands that she does. Come here. Bailey, Bailey, Bailey. Come here. But good boy. So I put his collar on this morning, and I said, "You want to go to the park?" And he went crazy. Doesn't get a chance to get out much, so I can understand his excitement. Woke up kind of late today. I did it on purpose. I think I woke up at around 9:30. Kind of hung out in the room for a while. Kind of laid there with Gabby. Just kind of chilled for a little bit. Haven't had a chance to do that for a while. So I figured I'd take the advantage. Slow your roll, boy. Slow. Good boy. So Bailey was trained by a trainer, and he still has kind of fragments of that left in his brain that when we're walking and you stop, you're supposed to sit. And he just did that without me telling him to, which is kind of cool since we spent about $700 on the training, and then I promptly blew it off after we got him back. Looks like we're going backwards on the trail today. All right. See if I can follow Bailey's frenetic pace here. I think it's going to be a warm one today. It's I guess it's kind of late. It's already 1:45. It's definitely getting kind of hot and steamy out. This way, honey. can do it. Got my new tripod slash phone camera holder. It's about 4 times heavier than my old one, but it's made like a tank. It's not going to break, which was one of my goals. It is kind of heavy to carry around though. I took off as many parts and pieces as I could to try to lighten it up, but it's still got some heft to it. There's a birdhouse up here. Yeah, could be birds or some other creature, I suppose. I don't know what a bat house looks like. At least got his leash coming out his butt. Come here. Come here. Lift your leg. Come on, puppy. Yeah, he's not as smart as Gabby when it comes to leash walks. He also has only one speed, and that's go. Kind of deep back here, bud. Ouch. Hold it. He's stuck. Come here. Let's get you unstuck. Come here, boy. Leg. Hold it. Lift this one. Oh, you're full of leaves. Slow. Bailey's doing about what I thought he would. He doesn't have the discipline of Gabby. He's all over the place, going back and forth, doing the hound dog sniff zigzag, which makes him difficult to take to certain paths, like the one I was at yesterday, with the bicycles and the runners and all that stuff. Leg. There you go. I guess it'll just take some more time and patience with him. Maybe teach him some of the directional commands that Gabby knows pretty well. Bailey's very smart, if anything, but he's extremely stubborn. He's got beagle brain. But that's why we love him so much, because he's got such a strong determination to do everything himself, including walking in the mud. Tell you what though, he's having a blast. I don't think taking Jasper on one of these is going to be very easy. He's even worse than Bailey is. But you never know. I know that taking them both at the same time is always kind of harrowing. But aside from a runner back here today, we're all by ourselves, which is pretty much how I anticipated this being. I think Bailey would be a lot better with off-leash dogs. As much as I don't want him to get hurt, he's a lot more friendly with other dogs and probably would not have any issues at all. Unlike the Gabster. Yeah, it's going to be steamy today. Already worked up a sweat and we've only walked a quarter mile. Which brings us back to the parking lot. This park's in back of a police station. If you've watched my other video on this park. Sign says no unauthorized vehicles past this point. We would be towed, blah, blah, blah. I question, why do you put a park entrance if that's going to be the attitude? So I'm sure they're doing that just to cover some liability issues. So we're going to head back in for another run, because Bailey has no idea that it's the same place until he starts smelling his own stank. And he does stink. He definitely needs a bath. But that's a chore best left for the professionals. I'm thinking that Bailey's going to be a good walker when he gets older. He's starting to mellow out. He's going to be 3 in a couple of weeks. June 25th is his birthday. well, it's his guest birthday, but it's close, according to the records that we have available. And I suspect that he'll calm down a lot more in a couple of years. He's still kind of a puppy, but he's starting to mellow out, letting us do belly rubs and just chilling a little bit more than he used to. So I think he's going to be a really good walk with us dog one day. Keep us both in shape. Poor guy wasn't feeling too well the other night. He got into something. I think I know what it was, but not sure, so I'm not going to say. He was acting a little funny, walking a little funny, kind of dazed. But some extra water over the course of 24 hours, and he didn't feel like eating much, so we kept the food away, gave him some treats if he was interested, and he got better. Sometimes you gotta learn when not to panic and take a dog to an emergency vet or something like that, because it's instantly a $500 price tag just to walk in the place usually. And I mean, it's a judgment call. If your dog is having seizures or is lethargic to the point where it can't lift its head, it's not eating, it's got bloody diarrhea, or it's got unusual vomiting, pain, bleeding, open wounds, such like that, then I'd suggest taking him to the vet. But dogs often get tummy aches because they get into things they're not supposed to get into. And my philosophy is, if one of the other things I just mentioned isn't happening, is just to keep an eye on them, keep them in their crate, check on them frequently, make sure they have plenty of fresh water and blankets, and just wait and see. If you rush to the vet every time your dog sneezes, you're going to have a very expensive and neurotic dog. Dogs are already neurotic enough as it is. We don't need to make them any worse. Right, BB? Are you crazy? Are you a crazy puppy? He's starting to chill now because we've already walked for a while. Got some of his yayas out. Now he's not pulling as much, which is pleasant. He's doing really well. You're doing good. Yes. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get Jasper out. He's got a funny shape, body and neck. He's very hard to put restraints on. He does okay in a halter, but he pulls like crazy. And I'd love to put a choke chain on like Bailey and Gabby have. But he gets really over dramatic and starts choking and coughing and like thinks he's being strangled. And I get pretty soft-hearted quick, so I take it off. But the fact of the matter is he's a very strong dog, and he needs to be on a choker chain of some sort, even one of the simple ones. So I'm not quite sure what to do yet. Regular collars. He's got such a slender giraffe neck and a slender head that he easily pulls out of web collars without a problem. If he would get scared when we're out in the woods, he'd disappear. That's how we got lost the first time. These coonhounds spook or get on a prey trail and you never see him again. And even though he's chipped, chips aren't, come here, leg. Lift your leg. Come here, dummy. Come here. Come here. Up. This way. Good job. What was I saying? The coonhounds have a reputation of fleeing scenes pretty often. It's not because they're trying to get away, it's just that they love freedoms. And when they get it, they go for it. And the next thing they know, they're miles away and they have no idea where they are. But he deserves to have some fun too, so I'm gonna work on some solutions there. Maybe double leash him and see how that goes. It's a technique that a lot of a lot of coonhound owners tend to do. They put a regular leash and then a halter leash, and they switch off between them. But they always have control over their dog with two leashes in case they slip out of the collar leash. There's these collars called gentle leaders. We use them at the shelter. Essentially slips over the dog's snout, then around the back of its brain pan, and you control the dog via underneath its nose. And supposedly it's supposed to calm them down. My experiences with them have been mixed. A lot of the dogs just try to paw it off, and I've had a couple of dogs flip it off of their heads, and that is like a panic situation when you're outside, because all you have is a loop around their nose, and they can easily just back out and disappear. But the shelters swear by it. Just makes me nervous. They have to be fitted like perfectly to the dog and never changed other than to make tightening adjustments. This looks pretty here. What do you think, BBs look pretty? Yeah. Looks like this got washed out with the last rain. There's a culvert. I haven't seen any snakes on my adventures. I'm kind of surprised. Got lots of snakes in Ohio. Thankfully not many of them are poisonous, at least in central Ohio. I heard that rattlesnakes are moving north as the global warming occurs. We have lizards in Cincinnati right now, these little 6-inch lizards that scoot about that we didn't have years ago. So our wildlife is changing. Things are moving down from the north and up from the south. Probably why we have the explosion of coyotes. And bears are starting to make a big comeback in Ohio. They're pretty prevalent in Virginia and West Virginia and Tennessee, and now they're starting to move up here. Be funny to see a bear in Columbus. Oh my God. I went camping in the Smokies after I graduated high school. A buddy and I hitchhiked down to Tennessee from Cleveland, and that's back when hitchhiking was popular still. And we went to the back country, quote unquote, along the Appalachian Trail. You have to book reservations like a concert. You get Ticketmaster tickets to go to the campsites. So we booked the first campsite into the trail, and it was only about 3-mile hike, which sounded really easy, but it sure wasn't. It was 3 miles completely uphill, and by the time we got to the campsite, I think 3 miles took us all day. I mean, it was an amazing hike, don't get me wrong, but I think once we got there, we decided that we're probably not going to do much more of that trail, and that cemented the evening that we were there. We were camping around a fire with this hippie couple, having a good time, getting stoned, and we look up and we hear crunchies in the woods. Shine a flashlight out there, and there's all these eyes staring at us. We had bears all over our campsite that night. I mean, like really close. I mean, like probably within 20 yards, right on the tree line, just staring at us. We had hung all of our food in a tree, which is what you're supposed to do. You have to hang it 6 feet or more than 6 feet. I don't remember how many feet above the ground, or the bears will come and get it. But they're so used to people showing up at that, newbies showing up at that first campsite, that they just kind of hover around there. It was crazy. In the middle of the night, the rangers came suddenly up to our site to check up on how we were doing, and it just totally freaked us out. We decided to just jump in the tent, zip it up, and try to go to sleep, and the bears were definitely in our campsite when we went to sleep. They were all over the place. So kind of flipped this out, and we decided to cancel the next stop on our journey, and instead just camped in the bottom campgrounds, and met a couple of cats from Brooklyn, New York, who are hilarious, and we hung out with them and partied for a couple of days and drank beer and smoked various substances that people smoked back in the 70s, and had a good old time. It was great. I'm so glad we did that. It's one of those things you do after high school that you're like, damn, that was a good idea. Kept in contact with the guy. Just talked to him about a month ago. I'd pretty much culled my Facebook friend list while I was sitting with my mom while she was dying in a nursing home. Decided that Facebook wasn't really a necessary part of my life that it needed to be. And I had a couple of people come forward and say, hey, why'd you delete me? Are we not friends? And I kind of explained the situation, and they understood. I pared Facebook down from probably about 130 people down to 30. They're all just, you want to do one more round? Come on, one more. They're all just mostly family right now, and a few friends. I just felt that Facebook was wasting my time. And I barely spend any time on it anymore. I just kind of scroll through a few pages, and I like my dog groups. I like reading my vet stuff, and now I've I've snoozed my vet stuff for 30 days. I don't really want to look at it for now that I've left the job. But it's still there. I can get back in. It's a decent group of people, and they have funny stories, and I still have a huge interest in the veterinary stuff. So I'll just let it go for 30 days and let the pain go away a little bit, and then just fire it up again. So now Bailey's nice and mellow because we've done this 3 times. He's getting his leash stuck between his legs though. Evie, stop. Leg. Leg. Ah. Stop. Stop. Leg. Good boy. Supposed to get some rain today, so I think it's gonna be an indoor day. I'm gonna walk this way. Go ahead, I'll follow you. I'm gonna fire up the computer and do some selling on eBay this week. I figured today I'm just gonna chill again. Of course, I say that, and then I get really bored and I start puttering around and doing things. It's hard for me to sit still anymore for too long, or I just kind of turn into a blob. All right, now we're in the middle of the woods. Now what? You gonna help find our way out? So, oh, let me think. Oh, I see where we are. Okay, we found this out. Let's go this way. There you go, boy. This way. Wait a minute. No, you had it right. You had it right. Let's go this way. Too many vines. Here we go. Good boy. Just cut half the trail off. Look at this thing. Looks like a head of a goose. It's just a stick. Come on, Bubba. No. Ah, see, look what happened. You just wrapped yourself around. All right, hold on. It's easier for me to do this than you. All right, boy. Slow. Eh. All right, slow. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we just cut the trail into a big piece. We're back out to the end again. Well, that's cool. We're getting on 34 minutes here. That's pretty good for BB. Got some excitement. Got to go for a car ride. I haven't found any ticks on Gabby during these walks, and I haven't had any ticks either on me that I know of. I'll have to check Bailey. He's got a little bit more fur for them to hide in. And we did go kind of into the woods a little bit. But I'm hoping the meds that I gave him a couple weeks ago are preventing anything. And here we are back at the beginning again. What do you think, boo-boo? Do you have enough? You want to get drinky? So there you go. Quick walk with us with a special guest star, Bailey the Border Beagle. Feeling better. We're gonna hop in here and head back to the homestead and see what's going on there. Bailey, want some water? There's a big tongue in my camera. Here you go. Good boy. Yes. All right. Well, this is different and new. Got a black and white spotted dog sitting in the seat where there's usually a big orange one. And hope you all have a good work week. Me, I'm gonna see what I can do and get some money going here. And we'll be visiting back with you with another walk with us, probably with Gabby this time. And until then, have a great time and peace out.